All right, this is changing the power steering pump on a 2002 Pontiac Sunfire with the 2.2 Ecotec engine. Seems like a pretty easy, straightforward job. Step one gives you a little bit of room if you pull the air cleaner line out of the way. All right. Next step, you're going to have just a nut to pull off to remove your little is like a part of your vacuum emissions system. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Now there's two bolts, the upper bolt and the lower bolt. And it's also a good idea to, while it's still attached, to break the power line, the pressure line on the bottom here. That's with I used a 5/8 inch flare nut wrench, and you can suction out with like a turkey baster or something the majority of the fluid, and then you can also just pop off the low pressure side of the line, return line, I don't know what you would call it, and it'll put something under there to catch it, a little cup or a pan or something, and then once it's empty, you can move to the next part, which is removal. All right, so as I said, there's only two bolts holding it on, and they're 1/2 inch. So draw those out. And I don't have a way to hold the camera, so I'm gonna finish it with the camera off. All right, so when you take the unit out, be careful if you tilt it, because there's still going to be some excess fluid left inside that's going to spill all over the place. And there you can see the mating surface. Clean that up a little bit. It's driven by a shaft that interfaces with the camshaft. So the shaft lines up in there, and when the engine cranks, turns, that's what's spinning your power steering pump, unlike an exterior pulley driven one that would be driven on the other side of the engine. I don't know what failed on this one. It's it's been leaking, but the other morning I got into the car. It was a cold morning, and it didn't turn left or right, so I'm like, all right, and there was some leakage, so it's an easy enough job. I'm just going to change it out, and that should hopefully fix the problem. All right, I'll move on to the next step. All right, so the mounting surface, I just cleaned it up a little with some brake parts cleaner, wiped it down. It interfaces with, there's like a rubber seal here on the, this is the new reconditioned replacement power steering pump. So I will mount this, and then we'll finish it up. So I started the threads on the lower side line, the pressure side line, while the unit wasn't attached here, just so I'd have a little more flexibility, make sure the threads are a little easy to line up, because this is a rigid line. And now I'm going to start running the bolts in. All right. So as I said before, I had made the bottom hose fitting, the pressure bearing line, finger tight into its hole there before I had started tightening down these two bolts. And that's especially useful because the bolt has the mounting bracket for that line. It goes through, holds it tight, so you'd have trouble if you didn't already have it partially threaded. You might have some trouble later on. So I just had it as finger tight as I could, and once I tightened these all the way down, I went back and tightened it up with the 5/8" flare nut wrench. So now the next step is I'll put my I don't know, the low pressure, the return line on here. Then I can mount this little purge canister. I'm not sure what this is, something with the emissions control, and then top it off, and we'll see how we are. I'll be back. All right, everything's all back together now. If you're not sure how to disassemble these vacuum lines, you sort of just pull down, pop it over, and then it just pops right off. And to just pop it on, clicks real easy. This one's a little trickier because that little piece is on the other side, so it's a little trickier to get it off. If you need to actually disconnect it just to get it out of your way, which I did. It just made it a little easier. So now I'm going to top off. The new one doesn't come with a reservoir cap, so I guess I'm going to reuse that, which is, you know, it's nice. It does come with a brand new reservoir, so you don't have to worry about having to trade over the old reservoir to the new one. So I'm going to top it off, put the air cleaner hose back, and then we'll see how we are. All right, all buttoned back up, started up, checked for leaks, revved it up to about 1500, 2000 RPM a little, just to get a little pressure, and then I felt that the power steering had kicked in, and there might be a bleeding procedure. I'll have to read through. Most of the time it's lift the front of the car and you know, turn the wheel all the way to left, turn the wheel all the way to right, and you know, recheck your fluids and top them off as necessary. So I'll just keep an eye on this for leaks and everything. Everything looks pretty high and dry, and hopefully this will be it. Not too bad a job. You know, when you break down to it, it's just 2 lines and 2 bolts. So this is a 2002 Pontiac Sunfire with an Ecotec. This still has about 225,000 miles on it. I changed the timing chain and gears out last year because I thought I had an issue, but it turned out just to be a bad pack. But you know, at over 200,000 miles, it definitely needed a new. Changing out the timing chain would have been good preventive maintenance. Hopefully I'll get a little more use out of this car. This engine has served me pretty well, knock on wood. The body of the car is starting to rot away, but this engine and transmission has been pretty outstanding, I must say. I bought this car brand new in 2002, and I've driven it you know, as my daily work driver for the past 22 years. So, all right, well, that is how you change out the power steering pump on a 2002 Pontiac Sunfire with the Ecotec engine. Hope you guys found this informative.